Stoicism, a philosophy rooted in ancient Greek and Roman culture, is experiencing a renaissance today. It is not just a teaching on the wisdom of life, but a practical guide to mental balance and stability. Stoicism has taught many the art of living without succumbing to the storms of emotion and the surprises of fate. It is based on the idea that the true good of man lies in his inner world, in his ability to maintain self-control, wisdom, and virtue regardless of external circumstances. Stoics believe that a person can achieve happiness by learning to control the things that depend on him, his thoughts, intentions, and actions. This philosophy teaches us to distinguish between what we can control and what is beyond our influence. Stoics call for taking events beyond our control as a given, focusing on personal inner strength and reason. Stoicism does not deny emotions, but calls for their conscious management. It is not indifference, but an understanding that our reactions to events and circumstances are the result of our judgments and beliefs. Figures such as Zeno of Citium, the founder of Stoicism, Seneca, Epictetus and Marcus Aurelius, not only developed the basic principles of Stoicism, but also demonstrated how these principles could be applied to everyday life. In today's world, Stoicism resonates with many who seek resilience in an age of change and uncertainty. It offers a path to inner peace, self-control, and mental stability that is more relevant than ever. Basic principles of Stoicism. Stoicism is based on several key principles that form its philosophical foundation and practical application: self-control and emotion management. One of the central aspects of Stoicism is the idea of self-control and management of one's own emotions. Stoics believe that while we cannot control external events, we can control our reactions to them. Consciously managing one's feelings and emotions allows one to remain calm and rational, even in difficult situations. Distinction of control. A basic principle of Stoicism is to distinguish between what is in our control and what is beyond our control. Stoics teach that happiness and inner peace are achieved by focusing on what we can control, our thoughts, intentions, actions, and accepting what we cannot control, external circumstances, actions of others. Importance of virtue. Virtue is considered the highest value in Stoicism. This includes honesty, justice, courage, and moderation. Stoics believe that living according to virtue is the true path to personal excellence and peace of mind. Acceptance of the inevitable. Stoicism teaches acceptance and adaptation to the inevitable aspects of life, such as death, illness, or loss. Understanding and accepting the inevitable avoids needless suffering and conflict with reality. Relativity of perception. Stoics emphasize that our perceptions and judgments of events, not the events themselves, determine our emotional response. By changing our perceptions and judgments, we can change our reactions and attitudes to life situations. Exercises in self-awareness and reflection. Regular self-reflection and mindfulness help Stoics stay true to their principles. This involves analyzing one's thoughts, emotions, and actions to improve one's understanding of oneself and one's motivations. These principles form the foundation of the Stoic approach to life, which aims to achieve mental balance and stability through reason, self-discipline, and inner wisdom. 7 forbidden things in Stoicism that will increase the risk of catastrophe by 80%. How to avoid. 1. Avoidance of responsibility in Stoicism. Avoiding responsibility in the context of Stoicism is seen as a serious obstacle to mental balance and wisdom. Here's how it affects Stoic practice and life. Abandonment of self-control. Stoicism insists on the importance of self-control and management of one's own thoughts and actions. Avoiding responsibility for these aspects leads to a loss of control over one's own life and emotions. Failure to accept the consequences of one's actions. Refusing to recognize and accept the consequences of one's actions undermines the basic Stoic principle of accepting reality. It also hinders personal growth and self-improvement. Lack of development of virtues. Stoicism considers the development of virtues such as honesty, justice, and courage as key to achieving peace of mind. By avoiding responsibility, one loses the opportunity to develop these qualities. Undermining relationships. Avoiding responsibility in relationships with others can lead to conflict, misunderstanding, and loss of trust. Stoicism values harmony and mutual respect in interpersonal relationships. Inability to overcome obstacles. Accepting and overcoming obstacles is an important part of Stoic practice. By avoiding responsibility, one deprives oneself of the opportunity to learn from one's mistakes and grow stronger. Loss of inner balance. Refusal to take responsibility for one's thoughts, feelings, and actions leads to inner imbalance and loss of peace of mind, which are key to Stoicism. Avoiding responsibility thus leads to serious obstacles to self-improvement and spiritual growth, which are central to Stoic philosophy. Stoics emphasize the importance of accepting responsibility as a means of attaining wisdom, inner strength, and mental balance. 2. Giving in to uncontrollable emotions in Stoicism. Giving in to uncontrollable emotions is one of the key, forbidden aspects in Stoicism, as it goes against the basic principles of the philosophy. Here's how it affects Stoic practice and life's journey. Loss of rational control. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of rational thought and control over emotions. Giving in to uncontrolled emotions means losing that control, which can lead to impulsive and irrational decisions. Obstacle to Stoicism. One of the goals of Stoicism is to achieve inner peace. Uncontrolled emotions can create inner chaos, preventing the attainment of this tranquility. Deviation from the path of virtue. Stoicism considers virtue to be the foundation of a good and meaningful life. Uncontrolled emotions can lead to behaviors that are contrary to virtue, such as anger, envy, or greed. Impact on interpersonal relationships. Giving into uncontrolled emotions can negatively affect relationships with others, leading to conflict, misunderstandings, and loss of harmony in relationships. Impediment to personal development. Constantly giving in to emotions without trying to control or understand them impedes self-reflection and personal growth, which are important in Stoicism. Failure to accept and adapt to circumstances. Stoicism teaches acceptance of external circumstances that we cannot change. Uncontrolled emotions can interfere with this acceptance, causing unnecessary suffering and fighting against the insurmountable. In Stoicism, giving in to uncontrollable emotions is seen as a departure from the path of wisdom and self-improvement. It is important to learn to recognize, understand, and manage one's emotions in order to maintain rationality, inner peace, and virtue in daily life. Pursuit of external goods in Stoicism. In the context of Stoicism, the pursuit of external goods such as material wealth, social status, or physical beauty is seen as a misguided goal that can lead to mental restlessness and distraction from true values. This is how it affects the Stoic lifestyle: distraction from peace of mind. Stoicism teaches that true happiness and tranquility are found within use, in our inner peace and virtues. The pursuit of external goods can distract from this goal, creating dependence on fickle and unreliable factors. Undermining self-sufficiency. One of the key aspects of Stoicism is the idea of self-sufficiency, the ability to find fulfillment in oneself rather than in external circumstances. Excessive pursuit of external goods undermines this self-sufficiency. Increased vulnerability to external circumstances. When happiness is tied to external goods, one becomes more vulnerable to changes in those circumstances. This is contrary to the Stoic goal of maintaining stability and tranquility, regardless of external conditions. Loss of focus on the virtues. Stoicism holds that the real value and meaning of life lies in the development of personal virtues. The pursuit of external goods can distract from this goal, shifting the focus from self-improvement to material or superficial achievements, creating unhappiness and envy. The constant pursuit of external goods can lead to feelings of dissatisfaction, envy, and competition, which is contrary to the Stoic goal of achieving inner peace and harmony. Lack of control. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of focusing on what is in our control. External goods often depend on circumstances we cannot control, making the pursuit of them a source of uncertainty and anxiety. The Stoics teach that true well-being and fulfillment stem from a person's inner peace virtues and ability to remain unperturbed in the face of external change. The pursuit of external goods, on the other hand, can be an obstacle to this goal. First, inability to accept obstacles in Stoicism. The inability to accept and overcome obstacles is an important, forbidden aspect in Stoicism because it goes against one of the central tenets of the philosophy: the ability to find in difficulties opportunities for personal growth and development. Here is how it affects Stoic practice. Missing opportunities for development. Stoicism views obstacles as opportunities to strengthen character and virtues. Failure to embrace these challenges means missing opportunities for personal growth and self-improvement. Loss of resilience to life's challenges. One of the goals of Stoicism is to develop resilience to unforeseen circumstances. The inability to accept obstacles makes a person more vulnerable and less able to adapt to change and difficulty. Negative perception of circumstances. Stoicism teaches us to change our attitude toward obstacles, seeing them not as misfortunes, but as chances for growth. Viewing obstacles solely in a negative light leads to pessimism and suffering. Deviation from the path of virtue. Overcoming difficulties requires virtues such as courage, patience, and perseverance. Failure to accept and overcome obstacles means a lack of development of these qualities. Limitation of personal freedom. Stoicism teaches that our true freedom lies in our ability to accept and adapt to different circumstances. Failure to do so limits our personal freedom and ability to fulfill ourselves. Undermining. Inner calm. Constant resistance and denial of obstacles can lead to inner restlessness and disharmony, which is in direct opposition to the Stoic desire for inner peace. In Stoicism, accepting and overcoming obstacles is considered an integral part of the journey of life. Not only does it contribute to personal growth and development, but it also helps to achieve a deeper level of self-knowledge and inner peace. 5. Lack of self-analysis in Stoicism. Lack of introspection and self-reflection is a significant obstacle in the practice of Stoicism because it limits the possibility of personal growth and deep understanding of the self. Here is how the lack of self-reflection affects Stoic philosophy and life. Obstacle to self-knowledge. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of understanding one's own thoughts, emotions, and actions. Lack of introspection impedes this understanding by limiting one's ability to self-control and self-regulation. Limitation in the development of virtues. Stoics consider the development of virtues such as wisdom, justice, and temperance to be the basis for achieving peace of mind. Lack of introspection hinders the realization and strengthening of these qualities. Failure to critically evaluate one's beliefs. Self-reflection allows one to rethink and evaluate one's beliefs and assumptions. Its absence can lead to stagnation in development and the holding of irrational or harmful views. Missing opportunities for self-improvement. Self-reflection is a key element in the self-improvement process. Without engaging in self-reflection, one loses the opportunity to learn from one's mistakes and improve one's actions. Obstacle to acceptance and adaptation to change. Without self-reflection, it is difficult to adapt to the changing circumstances of life. This leads to difficulty in accepting new challenges and changes. Loss of inner balance. Lack of introspection can lead to inner imbalance and loss of peace of mind, as one remains unaware of one's inner conflicts and problems. In Stoicism, introspection is seen as an important tool for achieving wisdom, stability, and harmony in life. It enables a person to understand himself or herself and his or her actions more deeply, and helps to develop inner resources to cope with life's difficulties and challenges. 6. Ignoring public morality in Stoicism. Ignoring public morality and virtues is a serious departure from the foundations of Stoicism, which places great importance on ethical behavior and the moral integration of the individual into society. Here is how it affects Stoic practice. Contradiction to the foundations of virtue. Stoicism asserts that living in accordance with virtue is the basis of true happiness and well-being. Ignoring societal morality contradicts this principle, leading to a loss of moral compass and inner balance. Destruction of interpersonal relationships. Virtues such as honesty, fairness, and compassion are essential to building healthy and sustainable relationships. Ignoring these aspects can lead to conflict, mistrust, and broken relationships. Loss of public trust and respect. Observing public morality helps to build a person's reputation as a trustworthy and valued member of society. Ignoring it can lead to loss of trust and respect from others. Negative impact on personal development. Moral principles and ethical behavior are important for personal development and self-improvement. Ignoring these aspects limits opportunities for deep self-knowledge and spiritual growth. Increased self-centeredness and self-deception. Ignoring societal morality can lead to self-centered behavior and self-deception, which is contrary to the Stoic desire for objectivity and self-reflection. Risk of social isolation. Stoicism recognizes the importance of social connections and community life. Ignoring moral standards can lead to social isolation and alienation. Stoicism emphasizes that virtue and moral behavior not only contribute to personal well-being, but are key to harmony and stability in society. Ignoring public morality is incompatible with the basic principles of Stoic philosophy and can lead to serious negative consequences for both the individual and society as a whole. 7. Not accepting the inevitable in Stoicism. Not accepting the inevitable is one of the key obstacles on the Stoic path, as Stoicism teaches us to accept and adapt to the unchangeable aspects of life, such as aging, illness, loss, and death. Here's how not accepting the inevitable affects Stoic practice: increased suffering. One of the central tenets of Stoicism is the belief that suffering often arises not from the event itself, but from our attitude toward it. Not accepting the inevitable aspects of life increases inner suffering and mental restlessness. Loss of soul balance. Stoicism seeks to achieve inner peace and stability in the face of external circumstances. Failure to accept the inevitable hinders the attainment of this state, creating inner conflict and turmoil. Obstacle to accepting life as it is. Stoics teach us to accept life in all its manifestations, finding wisdom in every experience. Not accepting the inevitable limits this ability and prevents a holistic view of life. Resistance to developing self-awareness. Acceptance of the inevitable is also a form of self-awareness and understanding of the nature of life. Refusal of this acceptance prevents deep self-knowledge and spiritual growth. Failure to develop virtues. In Stoicism, virtues such as courage and patience are developed through acceptance and overcoming difficulties. Not accepting the inevitable hinders the development of these qualities. Obstacle to rational thinking. Stoicism encourages a rational approach to life, which includes an objective perception of reality. Failure to accept the inevitable leads to irrational distortions in perception and reaction to life events. Acceptance of the inevitable in Stoicism does not mean passivity or indifference. It is an active process of awareness and adaptation to reality, which leads to inner harmony and stability. It helps a person to remain focused and purposeful despite external circumstances, while maintaining wisdom and serenity. Seneca once wrote, "We should not blame the gods or fate, the fault lies with ourselves." This emphasizes the importance of taking responsibility for one's actions. Application. In your daily life, when faced with problems, ask yourself, what can I do to improve this situation, instead of blaming circumstances or others? Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not over external events. Realize this, and you will find power." This is a reminder of the importance of controlling your emotions. When you feel emotions taking over, take a deep breath and remind yourself that your perception of the situation is more important than the circumstances themselves. Pursuit of external goods. Epictetus argued, "Do not be anxious about what you do not have, but make use of what you do have." This speaks to the value of inner peace. Focus on strengthening your inner qualities and values rather than chasing material goods or social recognition. Seneca said, "It is not obstacles that frighten us, but our attitude toward them." This is a reminder of the power of our perception. When you encounter an obstacle, see it as an opportunity for growth and learning, not as something negative. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Reflect often on the need for constant self-examination. This emphasizes the importance of self-knowledge. Set aside time each day to reflect on your thoughts, feelings, and actions to better understand yourself and your motives." Epictetus said, "It doesn't matter what people say, it matters what you do." This emphasizes the importance of personal virtue. Act according to your moral and ethical principles, even if it goes against public opinion or trends. Seneca observed, "Part of life is learning to die." This is a reminder of the need to accept the inevitable. Accept the inevitable aspects of life, such as aging and death, as natural elements of existence, and learn to find wisdom in them. By applying these principles to everyday life, from taking responsibility for our actions to accepting the inevitable, we can learn to live a more meaningful and balanced life. Stoicism teaches us to appreciate what we have, to develop our inner qualities, and to respond wisely to the changes and obstacles we encounter along the way.